are continuing our alternate future of the world series. I think this is episode 31. So we're doing good progress. Dang exciting. We're at 98 subscribers too. I want to get to 100. But I think we will before Christmas. I think we'll be at 150 before the new year. A lot of my friends are shocked at how many I have. But I didn't think it was that shocking. Maybe it is. Well, you know what? My mom said she would pay me $100 for 100 views. We're at 12,000 views. Guess who still hasn't paid me? My mom. So is she a liar? Or am I being a bit quick? Well, I do want to have it. I don't know. And why is Russia red? Because Finland's like, oh, poo. Can I beat the Russian bear again? But the resurgent Russia. Oh. Finland expects to be able to hold them back, but Estonia is worried. As Russian forces cross into Estonia, headed towards Tallinn, the capital, which they take quickly. But Estonia refuses to surrender, saying, "We shall never surrender to tyranny." And they say, "We will fight to the death." In the series Ukraine died, Ukraine will never die to Russia. In no world shall Ukraine die. And will they put up with the Russians? No. They shall never accept a tyrant in charge. They are brave. If you are braver than a Ukrainian, that will never happen. Ukrainians are willing to fight to the last drop of blood. They are brave. They are the bravest people on the planet. They will never succumb to tyranny. They want democracy. They want freedom. And they will never put up or comply with Russian rule. Even if Russia manages to win, which they're never going to do in a million years, they will keep fighting. They're determined to stay independent. I don't know if I would have the courage to keep my country free. But I probably would. You know, war changes our opinions on our stance of fighting. And Russia is suffering defeats upon defeats. Upon defeats. It's embarrassing for this democratic Russia now. And yeah, Russia's going to be democratic, really, do you think? And yeah, I hope they lose in Ukraine. I actually do. I may be Russophobic, but I hope not. And the head towards St. Petersburg, which they managed to take, is a major morale boost. But Estonia's like, hell no, you're not killing us. Wait, what? Estonia? Refusive and fighting back. Threatening Russia's government, saying they're corrupt, unstable, and stuff. Which Finland arrests all pro-Russians, basically. But some of these areas would still have high Russian majorities. But this is Claria, so it's Clarians. And Russia even says Clarians need freedom from this crazy Finland. The barbaric nation of Finland, they basically say. With Estonia saying, really, you're not barbaric? Guess who just took back Tallinn? Me. Ooh. And Finland is congratulating Estonia's success. But Russia thought this would be a cakewalk. Oh my god, is Russia that ironic they think every war will be a cakewalk? Ukraine, 1919. Ukraine fought to the last drop of blood in 1919, I believe. Poland did. The Baltics, Estonia did, after the Soviet Union was first established. Nobody wanted to be a part of them, but they ended up being forced. You can't force someone to be a part of you. Like, could America force Vietnam to comply or Laos? No. Could they comply Afghanistan to comply to their rules? No. Sometimes people don't want to follow your rules, but there's still a lot of people in Afghanistan who are pro-American. What Afghanistan is doing now is pretty crazy. I don't think anything they're doing is right. The reason Afghanistan's corrupt and like how it is with a bad government by the Taliban was the Taliban's, much like Iran's government, decided to say, yeah, that's what the Quran says. No, that's not accurate, but they say the Quran says that. No, just because you say something means that. Islam did not cause Iran to be the mess it is. No. What caused it was corrupt people. I bet nobody chose. It's mostly rural areas that have a lot of conservatives. I don't know why rural goes so conservative, but that's like everywhere. It's kind of like what the Catholic Church did in the 1400s. What's going on in like Iran, Afghanistan, Syria. Everybody is, when there's power, somebody will take advantage of it. With Finland almost having half its military encircled. You know what Finland does? Hey, Russia, you want to see something funny they send to Russia's government? And then they say, you want to see something else funny? As they kick them away all the way to the gates of St. Petersburg again. Finland wants to keep a hold of it. They push Russia back, but Russia comes in with a shock attack. With no way of being able to. They want to win the battlefield, but very little is supporting, except the Fourth Reich. What? Yeah, no, they're not evil like the third one. They're pretty good. They're just imperialist. France is scared of them. Britain's scared of them. But are they really evil? No. With Estonia kicking them back, with negotiations starting to go bad for Russia. Russia does one more attack to prove that they're undefeatable, basically. They basically say, yeah, give us some land or else. And they agree, fine, we will give you some land. But not much, because you're... Yeah, I'm not going to say that, because, yes, I could say it, but it's not nice, so I'm not going to say it. Just because you have freedom of speech in Canada does not mean you can say whatever you want. It's my opinion. But maybe it does, but I doubt it. I don't infer it to say, yeah, you can say what you want. Because just because you can, should you? It's a question. You can't say everything you want. No, some things are too extreme, in my opinion, that I would never say. And sometimes you don't want to curse on YouTube because, yeah, you don't know who's watching it. You understand that, I guess. You guys are chill. If you like Wild Mapper, you're pretty chill. With Estonia agreeing, but saying that they demand war reparations, Russia says fine in exchange for these lands, because Russian democracy does not want to be toppled. How about Iran-Iraq war? Nobody wanted to get rid of anyone. Saddam Hussein did do some good things, but his war against Kuwait was illegitimate. His war against Iran, illegitimate. His war against many places were illegitimate. But the first Iraq war was legitimate, the second one wasn't. That's just my opinion, with Estonia and Finland being in a rough spot. With the Fourth Reich seeing that they have one more thing, with them seeing, yeah, we need to do something. With them saying, no, France, you're not doing that. And you know what they blow up? The European war. With them and Slovakia going to war with Denmark. Their plan is pretty simple, what they're going to do after they erupt this full-scale war. So basically, they say, yeah, we can go north easier. With Finland staying neutral because it's its best bet. Nations are going to join, but they're going to try not to because they know their strategy isn't flawless. As they go through history, they realize, yeah, we're not unstoppable, no. Finally, someone who's actually smart being an authoritarian. They're not evil. They sure know they will be pushed back. So with a vote, they basically say, yeah, let's build our defensive along the Rhine and along the Italian border. So basically, their plan is to build their defenses right here. And basically, this is because they say it's much easier to defend these lands. One is mountains, the other is there. Which is smart. But the only concern with this plan is that France does not realize that they're putting defenses on the Rhine. They're like, what? Why is there nothing there? But the German people know this. They're like, yeah, that's a smart idea, they think. But is it really? And then they launch their plan. It's called the Operation Berlin, I guess, is its code name. And they push up. Within 6 hours, they take Copenhagen. Denmark says, we're not going to surrender in 6 hours, but they end up surrendering in 8 hours. Well, they did benefit. With France thinking, yeah. France and Britain finally send their operation in. With Germany also covering beaches, so they know what, but they figured out Germany's plan. So they push into Belgium. And then they take the Rhine area over. With Italy making minor advances. With the plan seen to continue its operation north. And while they quickly do this, which is an encirclement, and pushes them back to here. And then pushing near Stockholm. Sweden has a defensiveness, which really distresses this country. With them actually saying to Slovenia to set up a defensive, Italy basically said, Slovenia and Croatia, we need your help. Which they are only using them because they have a smart defensive strategy. With them saying, Hungary, want to help us? Hungary says, sure. With Hungary sending its forces into Germany's south, they manage to do this. And they eventually naval fighting starts. Yeah. And I'll be right back with the naval fighting. Firmly with the British blocking Germany from the open seas. But Germany sees this as a threat and does that. And basically says, Scotland, just let us through. Scotland is neutral, so they say, as long as your boats aren't armed, they can go in my water. So basically, you can't send military equipment through. This is smart, because, well, they need it. I'm pushing up towards Oslo. Their plan is to encircle them with the Norway-Sweden Navy in shambles. It basically starts collapsing. But there's still British vessels up in the north. But here is pretty much just obsolete navy, and Germany sinks all Sweden's navy in Norway, Sweden. Actually, this is a Nordic Union, so actually that was that was the Denmark part they went through. With Finland basically being told, if you join, we will protect you from Russia. But Estonia also here's this opportunity to have protection. But they don't really contribute much with Navy. No. As they enter in the Norway-Sweden. As they take Oslo and Sweden, Norway is kicked out. As they then take Stockholm, with Finland taking this lands. And Britain basically giving up their navy. With Norway, Sweden on the brink of capitulation. Eventually, this is what it looks like as the British try to maintain control over these lands. But if they fail, they're just going to take their boats out of all of these waters and say, yeah, no need to have a navy in lands that we aren't really able to protect. But the problem is, Norway, Sweden has fallen. They have Hungary's assistance. Iceland just says, yeah, we don't want violence. And the Swell Bold Islands just declare independence. With Germany finally prepared for their operation down in the south, they quickly move their boats and they get ready to cross the Rhine. But this is difficult, it proves, as they try to break defenses. But they can't, really. So they send some forces to Hungary. That came from the Kalmar Union fighting. And they do this. Take out Slovenia and take out the rest of Croatia. Italy is starting to collapse, so they're like, yeah, one sec. As they say, fine, we'll switch sides. As Italy switches its side of the war, Britain is furious, and so is France furious. Why wouldn't they? But Italy says, it's just in our blood to switch sides when we're losing. Why would we want to lose with you? Ooh. And France takes this hard, as France is kicked back in the Navy area. Because they weren't expecting this, and their Navy wasn't ready. As they sink the French South Navy. With Italy basically saying, we're sorry, Germany. We're very sorry, Germany. Germany says, fine, but can I send some forces in your nation to come into France? And they say, sure. With France and Britain moving some forces to the south. As they lose Marseille. And they continue their war. North they go. They move north, and German forces move to the south. Britain is now in shambles. France's defensive lines on the Rhine broke. As they try to re-establish defensive lines, this happens. So they quickly try to get rid of all these forces, but some get encircled and they get pushed down into Belgium. But at the same time, France is in shambles. France is starting to become disunited, and some people in Brittany say enough is enough with this republic. And yeah, as Brittany has left France. And yeah, this is what we're going to do for their borders. Okay, my mouse is still at the table, so I can't really use a mouse to get rid of this annoying noise. With the British Navy finally, with naval fighting ceasing as Britain agrees to peace negotiations, but France just doesn't. They say they're not accepting peace until they get all their lands back. And Italy gets punished. But they say, okay, fine. If that's the way you want to be, France, we will punish you. But Britain is still helping. They're just officially non-belligerent now. And non-belligerent means basically non-belligerent. Like Sweden was during World War II. Non-belligerent. So were they fully neutral? No, but were they neutral enough? With Germany vowing for speedy campaign to take Paris. As they take Paris, Paris collapses. France's north collapses, and eventually a guy gets elected and says, no, we're not fighting anymore, Germany. As France surrenders. And Germany's like, peacetime. Puppet in North France. France joining the World Treaty Organization along with Britain. Well, a neo one. And then Germany has Italy as an ally after they took some land. Hungary got some of their land they lost back. Although they do want Slovakia back, they decide to be an ally. Finland and Estonia get protection. And yeah, I don't like your puppet color. So maybe change it a bit darker so we can tell the difference. Because look how too similar those are. Yeah, this is a good color to tell the difference. And yeah, where else in the world does something happen? Well, Africa. It's the West African Pact. Gets war declared on by Nigeria. Why is Nigeria declaring war? Yes, well, they have been weakening. Yeah, unifications have been getting weak. Lot. And plus, thought this is a good opportunity to expand, but little did they know they would fail. As this happens, kinda. Well, I'm slowly getting kicked out. Eventually, though, they get kicked out. And eventually, Cameroon says they declare war, as Nigeria then agrees to peace, in which nothing really happens. Except now they just united this pact, the unifications. With Sudan again declaring war on the East African Union, who this time was prepared. But they knew they would fall back. At first, they have a bad push against, but they maintain this control of the Djibouti area, and they get pushed back to here. But things change as Ethiopia was prepared, and the East African Pact was prepared as they change the tide, push Sudan out of South Sudan, as they plan on taking lands from Eritrea and Sudan. And them being unexpecting of this, they get kapowed back. And they had no allies to begin with. But then they get Somalia and, well, goes, and Somaliland obviously joins. Pretty much how every war here goes. With the Arabian Union sending support to the East African Federation and Somaliland. Once I did put Somaliland in a video of guest flags on my Instagram called Wild Mapper. And yeah, this happens. And yeah. Oh, Canada. And this happens. And then they say, fine, we surrender. We surrender. Why do you surrender? Because we're weak. Oh my god, did I just take away the blue vibe? As Sudan surrendered, with the geopolitical situation in many fronts, especially here, changed a lot. I know where it's especially changed here because it's basically this pact versus that pact. Well, I kind of prefer this color. I like this color for that pact because it looks too similar to another pact. And why do I hold pacts on the same map? Because I like that idea, actually. I don't know what else to do. Maybe expand the World Treaty Organization. Let's say a few countries join. East African Federation, West African Federation, Morocco joins, Portugal joins, Canada joins, Mexico joins. Caribbean just stays. Caribbean nations basically stay out. And well, Canada has annexed Greenland. Finally, Canada looks nice. America's in shambles. But not as bad as when Louisiana declares independence. What's Louisiana, you may ask? Well, let's say at this point, Louisiana looks like that. And let's say Georgia declares independence. These American states look so bad. And let's say Oklahoma declares independence. Yeah, that's all that's left to America. As they're collapsing. South Carolina declares it's leaving. North Carolina says no. Just going to. I know this. Mississippi declares independence. I would call this the middle. Midwest. But I think the Midwest is like here too. So America has collapsed. Which was a shock to the world. With Russian aggression basically going unchecked or opposed. But they're stumped. What should they do now? They just do nothing and they say, yeah, we're good. And why should you guys subscribe? Because we are at 98 subscribers. How many is our goal? 102 days. Like, it's pretty chill. 102 days. But if we don't get there, then it's a new year we're trying to get by. But I'd like it if you guys subscribed. I got new subscribers yesterday. I was worried again, but we have 2 days to get 2 subscribers, so we shouldn't be worried. Wait, is it really just 2? Let's look at analytics.